Hey
All
guys,
right.
welcome back to the channel. I am Gillian Barry, and today we have on Anthony, and he recently did a 100-day juice cleanse. He drank nothing but juice for 100 days, and he had massive results. He actually lost over 90 pounds and had a total life transformation. And then he worked his way into raw foods after that. So we're gonna have a great talk about his experience, his results, everything, how you guys can get these results if you're interested. And let's get right into it. Give this video a big thumbs up right now. Make sure to subscribe if you don't already. And hey, Anthony, how's it going?
Hey, how you doing, Jillian?
Good. I'm
Um,
awesome.
I just wanted to say that it's finally nice to meet you because towards the end of my cleanse, I actually started to watch you. I started watching you and Kamaria.
Nice. That's awesome.
Like at the very end was when I picked up you
Yeah.
and it was just great to kind of see like other people on the journey and it helped a lot.
Awesome.
So
Good. I'm glad it helped. That's what these videos are here for. So I'm glad to hear that. And
yeah,
okay, so you did 100 days. This is
yes.
crazy. Let's get right into it. I've done 37 days tops,
Uh-huh.
but I've interviewed people that have done as long as you, and it's ends up being like a massive life transformation. So what first led you to the juice fast?
Okay, so what led me to the juice fast was I was sick. Well, I didn't necessarily know that I was sick. I just felt sick, right? I had blurry vision. I had aches and pains. I couldn't see street signs. I was just going through like a lot, right? And it got to the point to where I was just like, okay, something kind of has to change. But I also didn't necessarily want to go to the doctors because I figured that they were just going to tell me that, hey, you need to lose weight and you need to take better care of yourself because I knew I wasn't taking good care of myself at all, right? So I just wanted to take things into my own hands before I actually approached the doctor because I just knew that they were going to tell me that one of the things that I needed to take care of, and I knew this, and everybody knows, right? It's like you kind of know instinctively whether you're doing what you need to do or whether you're like doing the healthy things that you need to be doing.
Yeah.
And I just wasn't doing that. I didn't feel good. I didn't feel great. So I just wanted to take things into my own hands. Also, I had just ended a long-term relationship. Like, so that also was also fuel to the fire, right? I just wanted a new start. It was either I went down the path of trying to improve, self-improve, or trying to get better, or go down the other path with the drinking and just like doing, like things to harm myself, right? So I was kind of backed into a corner a little bit. It was more so like I either do something about it or I don't.
Yeah.
So that's what started the journey.
Wow. Amazing. And how did you first hear about a juice fast and how did you know how to get started and how did it exactly begin?
I first heard about Juice Fast because when I was starting to get into this thing, I watched Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead with Joe Cross.
Oh, I interviewed him recently.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think I saw that. I don't know if I watched it, but I did see that.
I'll link
Yeah.
it below. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. But no, I watched that and that inspired me. I was like, wait, I haven't done something like this before. I kind of did a little bit of a dirty vegan vegetarian thing back in 2020 when the pandemic stuff started happening. And I lost a lot of weight then too, right? I lost around like 70 pounds
Yeah.
then. Before that, I had done like 2 years prior, I had done keto and I had lost another 60 pounds. So this is my
Yeah.
third time like doing something like this.
Yeah.
And hopefully this is my last. But so I watched Fast Second Nearly Dead and I was just like, okay, well, he seems to feel good. He seems to like look good. He says that it works. I just saw what happened to him at the very end. And I saw that he had another person in the video who decided to go on that cleanse. And it was also life-changing for him. So that was the start of it. I was like, let me just like see what this is like. Let me just see if it changes me, right? Because I had nothing else to really like lose. So that's what I did. So was Joe Cross's Fast Sick and Nearly Dead.
Yeah. Wow. That was inspiring. That was a huge documentary. Like
Yeah.
it was so good. I've watched that a bunch of times and it did change you. So
Yes,
was
it
it
did.
hard to get started? Was it like 100 days? Way to go. Was it hard to like stay on track, especially in the beginning? And what did your daily routine look like in the beginning?
Um, in the beginning, it was more so because I didn't set out to do 100, right? I set out to do exactly what he did, which was like 60. right? So initially I was like, oh, 60. Yeah, like let me just go ahead and try and do the 60. And when I started out, I think the first week or week and a half were probably like the hardest, right? Like maybe the first 3 or 4 days, like I had a little bit of a headache here and there, all that stuff, right? But then when day 60 approached, I felt as if I could do this forever. Like day 60 happened and I was like, I could just keep going. Then
Yeah.
day 90 happened and I was like, I kind of miss chewing. I don't even know what that feels like anymore. So then I was like, okay, like let me just go to 100 just to say that I got 100 one day 90 hit. So
Yeah.
that's what I did. But initially, the first week and a half was when I kind of had a little bit of trouble, right? Then somewhere in day 14, day 15, I was like, do I really want to do this? My mind started to, play tricks on me. It was like, okay, there's more than one way to get better, right? You
Yeah.
weren't eating that well before. You could just like easily just like do a clean whole food vegan thing and just like do it that way because this is too much, right?
Yeah.
So like I started to kind of panic. My mind was trying to like take over. So what I did then was I decided to go on a water fast. Like I went on a water fast like in between there for about like 10 days.
Wow.
And after I did that, I was like, I love juicing. I was like, I'd rather juice than like water fast to do anything else, right? So that kind of really helped me. And then after that, I was just like, juicing's great. Like I'd
Yeah.
much rather have that than just do the water thing. So that kind of
No
like
kidding. Yeah.
brought me back. It kind of triggered something in my brain. It was like, okay, things could get worse. You could either do a dry fast, water fast. It's like juicing is great, like
Talk
so
about
yeah.
discipline. Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, I would say maybe like the first week and a half was when I had a little bit of like trouble, but after that, the feeling you get is just like amazing. And then a lot of people think that you don't have energy, but you even have more energy, and then you start getting less hungry. So then it just becomes like an automatic thing to where it's just like you feel good, you start looking good. So then like what else do you have to lose? Like
Yeah.
you
Would you
can just
say
keep
like,
going.
would you say you felt better than you've ever felt in your life? For me, that's
That
when I've felt the best
yes.
in my life is juice cleansing.
Yes, and it's actually really kind of hard now sometimes to just be like, oh, like because you kind of get used to that feeling to where it's like you don't necessarily chase that feeling, but it's more so like, can I ever get that feeling again, right? So it's
Yeah.
like you sometimes want to like go back on these cleanses, but it's not sustainable. You're not supposed to be just juicing like your whole life away. So it's
Yeah. Totally.
it's important to maybe go back to it every once in a while, but yeah, but that feeling, like once you get that feeling, it's just amazing.
Yeah, I feel like if you can stick through and get that feeling, because for me, like the first few days are the hardest. I know, like day two, day three, my mind is like a thousand thoughts of like, just go back to food, just go back to
Yeah,
food.
it's like, oh my God, like everything tastes so good. What are you doing?
Yeah. But I feel like it's such a spiritual experience. I know a lot of people go into a juice fast for health, and then it just becomes like this deeply spiritual experience. Like I know for me, my mind is so quiet. My dreams are next level, and I'm like manifesting and attracting like more money and more things. Like, did it also turn out to be a spiritual experience? Did your life change at all? I know some people have done long-term juice fasts. They realize their relationship's not for them, their job, like they
Yeah,
make all these changes. Was
yeah.
that your experience at all, or no?
Well, partly, right? I didn't necessarily have like the dreams, or maybe I didn't pay that much attention to them, right? But what did happen for me was I've always been an indoor type of person. I've always been like, like I kept to myself. I didn't really like the sun because I'd get outside and be like, this is too hot. Like, let me go back inside. Like but now I love the sun. There's something about the sun that I'm just like, okay, like I need to get some sun today. For some odd reason, I don't know how to explain it, but I actually like appreciate like nature now.
Yeah.
Like I want to hear birds chirp. I just want to be outdoors. And that was not me, right? So it's like, I know that's definitely changed. I actually want to do things more. And I don't know if it's partly because I did find myself again, right? Maybe like that
Mhm.
inner child or whatever it is, but it
Yeah.
just made me want to explore more and like do more. And I never like there was a point in time where I just wanted to be inside. I didn't want to talk to anybody. Don't know if it was a self-confidence thing either. Maybe when when I started juicing and started feeling better about myself and wanting to improve more and started to look good, right? Well, not that I didn't look good before, it was just more so like I started to feel like myself, right? So that gave
Yeah.
me self-confidence, which in turn, I don't know if that also helped with me wanting to be outside more and wanting to explore, but I can say for a fact that that right there, like, has been a major like change in my life. As far as
Wow.
like spiritually, I guess you could say that that's a little spiritual on the spiritual side, but
Sure.
I also felt the need to try like to grab my Bible, but a part of me was hesitant because in the past there was a moment where I was like so deep into the Bible to where I felt as if everything was bad. And
Hmm.
I felt as if I couldn't live in this world without it was really hard to live in this world when I got to that mindset because everything became like I needed to be good,
Hmm.
like 100% every single time. So part of me was a little afraid to get back into that, but I did feel the need, like I did feel something where it was like, okay, like be good, like
Hmm.
like be good to yourself. So I did pick up my Bible. I think I was afraid to like get back there because I had experienced something like that a lot earlier, and I was just afraid to like tap back into that because I didn't know how to live in this world being that way initially. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow, wow, inspiring. And how do you feel this experience compared? Because you said you've done other things in the past. So like the juicing and then
Yeah.
going into raw foods. How did this compare to like the keto and everything else and like how you felt, your mindset and all that? Is there a difference?
I think this is the best that I've ever felt. The keto, I lost weight on it, right? I also felt good. I just felt sluggish. I felt like over time, I felt as if I couldn't sustain it. I also felt heavier. Although I lost the weight, I felt heavier. I don't know if it was the meat or what it was. I kept eating a lot of meat. And I was just like, okay, like the oils and the meats and stuff like that. After a while, although you lose the weight, it just there was like a heaviness. Right now, I
Mhm.
feel light. I feel a little more free. When I was doing the vegetarian slash dirty vegan stuff too, I didn't I felt good, right? But I don't know if it was because of the different types of things that I was eating, but I didn't feel as great as I do now. Now
Yeah.
I feel cleaner and I feel more
Yeah.
at peace.
Yeah. Me too. I did the blood type O diet way back when, and it's like a heavy meat
Uh-huh.
diet because that's my blood type. And it was the same type of thing. And nothing on earth makes me feel better than raw and juicing.
Yeah.
It's just like the most transformative experience of life. And okay, so what did your like how many juices did you intake on a day? Like what was sort of your key to success here? Like how many juices, what types of juices were you drinking? What juicer did you use? I know a lot of people always ask that.
Okay, so the juicer that I used initially, I started with what's it called? I think it was like an Omega. It was the
Yeah.
horizontal one, and then I immediately switched. Maybe like 2 3 weeks into it, I was like, okay, like if I'm gonna be trying to do this for a long term thing, like I kind of need something that I didn't have to like struggle to try and push down, and the hole was so small. So then I ended up getting the Namajay too,
Oh, that's
and
the
that
best. That's what I use.
you know, if you know, you know.
Yeah.
That machine was like great, and that's what I'm currently on right now. It makes it easy. It's like perfect. The workload becomes like simpler, whatever. But so like yeah, that's what I ended up using. As
It's
far
the
as
best.
no, it
It
is
like it
like
makes you want to juice every day. I got the Nama
yeah,
last year. It's the best. I
huh,
affiliated with them because I love it so much. So if you guys want to save, you
yeah,
can save on a Nama. I'll put my code down below. You can save $55 with my code. And you will love it. Everybody loves it. Everybody like DMs
yeah,
me. They're
yeah.
like, I love
No,
it so much. And I juice every day with it. It's just you get more. I did a comparison video to like another standard juicer. You get more juice out of your
uh-huh.
produce, and like it's just so much better.
Out of it,
And yeah, so what were
yeah.
you drinking in a
Would
day?
you used to use before?
I used to use a Breville, like a
I
standard
was,
Breville,
I
and
was,
it was good too. I'm not knocking it. Like
oh,
you have to
okay,
get whatever's in your budget and
yeah,
like whatever. But it got me. I still
right,
use
right.
that way back when. But yeah, I use the Nama's just like the best.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Yeah.
As far as how much I used to drink, on average, I found out that maybe on average, I was
Yeah.
probably drinking like 3 32-ounce jars, right? But I later found out that that might have not been enough, and that the
No.
more that you drink, the more cleansing it can be for you, right? But back then, I didn't know any of these things. So initially, I was drinking until I kind of got like full, right? So some days it would be 4 or 5 jars, but I tapped out. I started like figuring out that around like 3 jars was kind of like good for me. And also too, as you go along, the further you go along, it's like you get less hungry. But I also heard that it might be still smart to try and drink as much as you can. But I got full like a lot quicker as I went along. I don't know if it was because my belly got smaller or what, but I didn't need as much to
That's
like
common. A
get
lot of people I interview
full.
say that. Yeah. That
Yeah.
I can't believe you're only drinking three. Like to me, usually I drink like literally 8 to 12 of these, 32 ounce when I'm juicing. I drink
Really?
coconut water too. I drink a lot. And it just makes me feel so good. I feel like I need a lot of calories on a juice fast. I think sometimes when people say it's not working, it's because
Yeah.
for some people, if they're
It,
only drinking like three of these or two of these,
yeah.
they're not having enough energy. And then they're like, this juice cleanse is not working. So I mean, you got to do what works for you. If three
Have
works for
you
you, four.
have you heard what's the thing with so they do say that the more you drink, the better it is for you. Is it more so of as a cleansing thing, or is it more so like you just need to get full so that you can make sure that to sustain this?
Yeah,
Or
like
both?
for me, I think both. I like to just, when I juice cleanse, I like to have a lot of calories and a lot of energy to still be productive, do all my stuff. And when I'm
Yeah.
drinking like 8+ of these a day, like a lot,
Yeah.
then like I'm just like vibing so high,
Good.
get more productive than ever, than even on
Yeah.
food. I know there can be like a lot of obstacles with juicing. Like people always comment on my channel and they're like, Jill, I have to go to work though. I have to sit at a desk 9 to 5. How do I do this without having to go to the bathroom all the time? Or people around me are going to think I'm crazy because, no fiber, no meat, this and that. So, did you deal with any of these obstacles? And do you have any tips out there for anybody who thinks of like those obstacles and those things?
Thankfully, I didn't necessarily have to like go through that because I kind of like stick to myself. And even if I sometimes did get like invited, I kind of like to places I kind of like know myself. So a part of me, like, although it was like it's not ideal, I would say no a lot of the times just because I just really wanted to do this. Like I really
Hmm.
wanted to do this. So it
Yeah.
was like I knew what people were gonna say, I knew what people were gonna think, right? And I just didn't want to have to think about that. So I kept to myself the majority of the time. But then again, too, I was fortunate enough to be able to do that. But I would say that if you're not, the best thing that you could do is just like you have to just think about yourself. It's for
Hmm.
you. Like it's like the people around you aren't gonna save you if you do get sick. They can say all the things that they want to say, but it's like if you're going through what you're going through in your life, there's only so much that they can do because they have their own life to worry about. Usually people talk about other people and they try and judge them and then try and tell you what to do and this and that and this and that. But at the end of the day, the only person that you have in your corner is you. So do what's best for you. You can't just go through your whole life trying to think about what Joe is going to be saying at this and what so someone else is going to be saying at that. It's just you got to do what's best for you, right? Because
So
you're the
true.
only person that you got.
So true. So true. And what helped you stay on track? Like, what is there anything that like, cause like it's just so long. Like,
Yeah.
you must have had these moments, right? Where you're like, oh, I just have cravings and
Mhm.
like any tips for like the mindset or like really keeping people on track who want to stick to this?
I would say like consuming content like yours because I was constantly every day I would like I worked out the majority of the cleanse as well. So like let's just say like in a month I'll probably work out maybe like 25 days to like 26 days like each month. So I worked out the majority of my cleanse. I would mainly walk though. So you don't really have to do a lot of like strenuous things to like lose that amount of weight or whatever, right? It's very like you can even do it just juicing. You don't have to probably do physical, but it's great to do the physical activity to get the toxins out and stuff. But I would say consuming content, surrounding yourself as much as possible with it. If you have a family that supports you, that's great, right? But surround yourself with people and the content, right? So every day when I'd be doing my walk on the treadmill, I would be watching people like you, right? Like I'd be watching interviews. So I'd be watching the Rich Roll podcast, right? Just feeding my brain with health and with what I was going to do after this, right? Learning, like reprogramming myself, right? Because I came from just like the standard American diet. I love food. I absolutely love food. I love me some
Yeah.
like meat. I love me some chicken, some fries. I love all that, right? And every
Yeah.
once in a while, it does pop in my head, but the way that it makes me feel, I'm choosing the way that it makes me feel over just like the taste of it, right? I love the way that I feel now. So there comes a point in time where you have to like pick one. It's like it's either you're going to love the feeling of food and probably get sick with it and not feel your best, or choose something that still feeds you,
Mhm.
still tastes good. You just got to train your taste buds to like that, right? And then feel the best that you've ever felt, you know?
So
But
true.
yeah, so like I basically just watched content. I just soaked in content. I try to reprogram myself and relearn. And thank God that some of it stuck.
Yeah. And I feel like it's just when you're juicing, it feels like such a positive thing and you start to feel so good. So then you want to do more good things. Like you said,
Yes.
like taking in positive content or
Yeah.
like going for walks, getting in nature, like doing positive things. And then
Yeah.
before you know it, like your life has become a lot more positive. I feel like even if you don't want to do juice only for 100 days, even just
Yeah.
adding in green juice to your day, you
Yes.
feel so good. And then you're like, oh, I want to go to the gym now, or I want to
Yeah.
listen to positive music, or I want to call that friend who makes me feel great. Or
Yeah.
like then
Right.
it's just like you're more in a positive frequency and it's just like so good.
And
And
that's the thing too, though, right? It's like you asked me like what kept me going. It's because the more you do it, things get better for you, right? And then you start chasing that feeling. So a part of it, a lot of it is that. Because sometimes if you don't see that, it's hard to stick to things. But it's not as if you're when you start juicing, it's just like stagnant. Things start to
Mhm.
happen. And the more things start to happen, it makes you want to stick to it more, right? So
Yeah.
that also helped.
And I think you have to hang in there too, because I think at the beginning, when you switch to a cleanse, I know for me, when I did a grape cleanse or when I've switched to other cleanses in the past, I
Mhm.
could be like really bloated and feel a bit backed up for a few days, whereas I'm
Mhm.
not usually. I'm like, what's going on? And then it's just like my body adjusting to it. And then
Mhm.
once you get, moving and once you get used to the cleanse, then you're just like not backed up at all. Everything's moving and you feel better than ever. So, and it's like you had the headaches in the beginning. I think some people
Yeah.
might be like, oh, I'm having these headaches or I'm bloated, like it's not working. But I feel
Yeah.
like just giving it like a week or two and seeing, of course, do what's right for you. I mean, it's not medical advice either. Like, see your doctor if you feel like you need to.
Right.
But I mean,
Yeah.
it's just like,
I had a quick question for you. I had a
yeah,
quick question for you. The grape cleanse that you did, I think I saw you do that. You did a grape cleanse, and then there was another cleanse too that you did. I think it was a watermelon, right?
watermelon cleanse, watermelon island. I
Okay.
did that. Yeah.
Yeah. With these, you weren't juicing, you were actually eating them, right? But which one
No,
would you say was more cleansing, or which one would you say is ideal to kind of cleanse yourself more?
I would say out of juicing, the grape cleanse and the watermelon cleanse, the grape cleanse felt the most detoxifying of anything I've ever done. I was shocked. I can't remember how many days I did. I'll link the video down below for both of those. It's on my channel. I think I did 28 days, I'm pretty sure, of only grapes, but I
Wow.
liked it because it's
Wow.
so easy. So juicing is more work, right? Because you have to get more
Uh-huh.
produce. There's ways to get by the case, save money, do all that. It is more
Yeah.
work, but it's worth it because you feel so good.
Right.
But the grapes were easy too, because it's just like you just buy grapes, bags of grapes, wash them,
Yeah.
throw them in a bowl. And I liked how you could buy different colors, red, black, cotton candy,
I see.
all. So
Yeah.
it's like there
Yeah.
was more a variety as opposed to some other mono fruit cleanses like bananas or watermelon.
Right.
And that felt so detoxifying, especially through like with breathing and through my sinuses. They say that
Uh-huh.
grapes are so good for your lungs. And it just felt
Yeah.
like I would say if anybody has smoked or anything like that, like a grape cleanse is just crazy what it does for like your lungs and everything. And so that was the most detoxifying. It was crazy. And watermelon, it just like made me feel amazing. When I just eat nothing but watermelon, it makes
Yeah.
me feel so good. It can be great for people. You want to just do like 3 days on watermelon or 2 days. It's a
Yeah.
great little cleanse and you feel incredible. And I did try banana. I'm not somebody who's cleansing all the time either. I do love my food. I'm always eating like an abundant diet. But I
Yeah.
did do what's it called? The banana island. So I tried
Mhm.
to eat nothing but bananas and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try this because everybody's like, and bananas are cheap, easy, all these things. But I
Yeah.
lasted, I think 3 days. I think it was 3 days. Yeah, I could not eat one more banana. So that's one that just doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
But you did a water fast too. So I would love to talk a little
Yes.
bit about 10 days on water. Wow. Like I've never done one day on water, I don't think. How was
Really?
that? How was that?
That's funny because I'm actually on my third day, my last day again of doing another water fast because I wanted to do this thing on top of doing the raw thing all 2023. And I'm like learning every day. I'm learning. This is like I'm new to this. I just lost this weight probably what like 5, 6 months ago. So everything is like still new. But since then I've been raw and that weight loss was around like 3 months. So I've been raw probably like another 3 months max, right? But I also wanted to incorporate at the end of every month, I wanted to do a 3-day water fast and then a 4-day mono fruit fast. So I was either going to do a 4-day like watermelon or 4-day grape, or maybe 2-day watermelon and 2-day grapes, moving into like each month, like just to kind of renew myself, to give my body a break, right? So that's what I'm actually doing right now. I'm actually on
Wow.
my third day water fast, like right now. I'm about to move to, I'm so excited to jump into the food tomorrow, and I
Yeah.
don't know what I'm gonna do. Might be watermelon, might be grapes, I don't know. But
Yeah. Awesome.
but no, but the 10-day water fast, that was initially like the first 2 and 3 days of the water fasts are sometimes are difficult. But after that, like when you start getting into like day like 5 and 6, you're good. It's like you feel as if you can do it. But initially, like the beginning part of it is like the struggle part. But after you, if you can push through that, you just start feeling as if like you don't need food,
Yeah.
right? So, but yeah, but that's how I felt.
I do think with most people, if they're going to do a water fast, I say consult somebody.
Yeah,
I've
no, no,
interviewed
yeah,
Alan Goldhammer, I interviewed Lauren Lockman. I would say consult somebody. I'm just throwing that out there because I think you just have
yeah.
to be careful on a water fast. Did you have energy still, or you must have noticed a big difference with the juicing versus the water? With the water, were you more like bedbound, or like you felt like you couldn't do
Yeah,
much?
I definitely had less energy on the water fast, but also too, you can also take like electrolytes and certain things like that. But I do agree with Gillian. I have watched Alan Goldheimer. I think he has like True North or something like
Yeah.
that. He has like a facility where they actually like look after you. And it is important to do something like that, right? Because you don't want to like do anything crazy.
You want to be
But
careful. Yeah.
yes, yeah. But I think I just did strictly just like water, but you can also include like electrolytes and certain things that you need, like the salt, because you're probably going to be peeing a lot and like getting a whole bunch of stuff out. So it's important to also replenish that
Yeah.
in your system, and that'll give you more energy and allow you to like last. But probably consult someone that like knows more about this than trying
Yeah.
to attempt it yourself.
Yeah. And how did you break? Like, how did you know at day 100, like, okay, it's time to stop? And how did you break it? And were you glad you broke it? I know some people break it and then they're like, oh, I should have just done it longer. I missed that juice vibe. Like, did you feel like it was time to stop?
It took maybe another like 9 or 10 days for me to like finally actually like eat something because I was trying to figure it out. I was like, a part of me was scared because I was just
Yeah.
like, this is all I've known for like some time, and it's done so well for me. Like it's allowed me to like feel the way that I'm feeling. What am I gonna do now? It was kind of
Mm.
scary to put my foot back out there, right? But by day 90 was when I was like, day 60, I felt as if I could do it forever. Day 90 was when I was like, I'm starting to get a little tired of this. I kind of want to choose something. And then I was like, I can't do this forever. So it's like, I have to break it sometime. The only reason why I went to 100 was because I just wanted to say that I got 100. But
Yeah.
I really could have stopped at day 90 because that's when I started feeling as if, okay, like I didn't get that feeling the entire time, right? Maybe at the very beginning when I was just like, oh, do you really want to do this? But after that, I didn't get that feeling of like stopping at all until maybe around day 90. And then I just pushed myself to the 100 just because. And then after that, another 9 days, because now I was unsure. I was like, oh my God, like, this is what you've been doing. It's been helping you so much. What are you going to do now? Right. So then that's when I decided, I was like, okay, like, let me just be smart about this.
Yeah.
What are you going to do after this? It's like, you don't want to revert back to bad habits. So I was like, let me try and see if I can do raw till the end of the year. So from October, the mid-October to the end of the year, I was like, okay, like let me just go ahead and see if I can do raw until then, without thinking about maybe the possibility of all 2023 maybe just doing raw.
Yeah.
But I broke it with fruits for some time there, like fruits, and I still juiced every once in a while, but it was mainly like soft fruits at first, right? I've also heard that you need to give your body, after a juice cleanse, you need to maybe give your body like at least half the amount of time that you took, right? So I knew that at least like if I did a 3 month cleanse, I'd
Mhm.
need to at least do like a month and a half of just like trying to get my body back used to
Mhm.
eating solid food, right? So I did start with a lot of fruit, a lot of juicy fruits, and then I moved on to harder fruits, and then I moved on to the veggies and started delving back into trying to like make certain things and mixing it up.
Yeah, that's good. That's great. And did you find overall the juice fast was expensive? Do you know how much you spent roughly per week?
I actually didn't really track it that much, but only because it's like when I was not doing the juice fast, I was on Postmates a lot. So it's like I like food was
Yeah,
expensive to begin with anyways, because I was ordering all the time, or I was like going out and you buy food here and you're not thinking about that when you're like not doing something like juicing. It's weird because some like
mhm,
it's only when you're starting to do the healthy things that sometimes people are like, oh, how much are you spending? But usually, typically, people spend a lot of money on like going out and like buying drinks and like doing that. All that stuff adds up, and you just don't really know how much you're really spending on all that, right?
so
So,
true.
I would say that it probably costs the same or even like less because I wasn't going out anymore like that. I was also not doing Postmates because with Postmates, guess what you have to do now? There's taxes, then you also have to tip, and you should tip, right? But it's like that all adds up. So I
It
would say I
does.
spent
Yeah.
the same amount or less.
Yeah, no, it's like I know you order a meal for like $20 or something, say, and
Mhm.
then you check out and it's like 50. You're like, where did what? I
You
don't get it.
know?
But yeah, so you do,
Yeah.
you save on all that. It's so
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
And okay, so I'm wondering, so did all your health problems go away with the juice fast? And like how long did it take to see the results? And I'm curious about your vision too. Like, did your vision clear?
Yeah,
Yeah.
my vision is like better now. It's like it's weird, but again, I actually probably need to go in and do like a checkup and everything. But everything everything is
Yeah.
better now. I used to have like dark knuckles and stuff here. I used to have they were turning black, and then I
Wow.
used to Google that and research that, and a part of that was kind of like a pre-diabetic thing. And my mom used to be a diabetic. My dad is a diabetic as well, right? So I knew with the vision going, with seeing signs, I used to have dark, like uh what do you call it? Dark elbows, dark knuckles.
Wow, I
Um,
didn't know that was a sign. Wow.
yeah, it's called something necrosis, something. It has a name.
Yeah.
But yeah, but that's kind of like a sign, like it's kind of like a pre-diabetic type of like sign. So I started seeing that, and then things were just like the aches and the pains. So all that's gone. I don't feel achy anymore. I don't feel any more pain anymore. My vision is gone. I don't have any more dark knuckles anymore. My elbows are like, like they're gone now. Like I just feel good. I feel great. I don't feel
Wow.
any pain. Like so yeah, like everything seems to have gone that I know about, but I probably need to do like a checkup soon. So
Yeah, juicing can be so powerful. That's like there was
yeah.
something I was dealing with last year and it was pretty bad. And then I was like, I juiced by like day 3 or 6. It was like all better. I was like, this is crazy.
Really?
Yeah, I'll link that
Wow.
video down below. It was really amazing. And I mean, feel free to DM me on Instagram if you want to talk about that. Like it was a crazy experience. And okay, so you mentioned like possibly the pre-diabetes with that.
Hmm.
And a lot of people might think, well, the fruit sugar on a juice fast or the sugars, because you don't have the fiber. A lot of people think like it does these sugar swings and will give you like those issues, right?
Right.
Or make them worse.
Right.
So how did you address that if people came to you with that? People say that on my channel all the time. How was your experience with that? Clearly, I mean, everything went away, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. See, I didn't even like go into it thinking that, which could be like a dangerous thing, but I didn't go into it thinking, oh, like I feel as if a lot of these things, it's A lot of it is kind of like, yes, it's important to consult your doctors, yeah, all that. But I do think a lot of this stuff is like mainstream stuff that you sometimes need to like relearn. I think if you're concerned about sugars, you could do more green juice. Like you don't have to do strictly fruit. You don't
Mhm.
have to like have a whole bunch of grapes and whatever, right? You don't have to go that route. You can do some green juice. You could do some kale, you could do some spinach, you can do some lemon juices, right? So then that knocks that out. You're not
Mhm.
really getting any of that sugary stuff, right? Or maybe add an element of it. You don't have to like do all fruits. You it's important to actually add the green juice. It's important
Mhm.
to add those other types of things, which I
Yeah.
also included in my juice cleanse. I didn't just stick to just like fruits only. I added a variety: beets, carrots, ginger, turmeric, kale, celery, cucumber. Those don't seem to have any type of sugars in them, right? So you can definitely still do it, you
Mhm.
know? Yeah.
Yeah, I interviewed Sarah Erica. I don't know if you watched that one. She
No.
was in a wheelchair and she was having a lot of health problems, and they were even like, your days are numbered. Like, you just have to basically get used to like this is your life.
Hmm.
And they were like, there's nothing else they could do because the doctors tried so many things. So she was like, I'm gonna try a juice fast, see if it works.
Right.
And so she did 1 year and she actually drank mostly fruit juice. So
Really?
she has a lot to say on that. She's interesting. I can try link that video down below and go follow her. But by the end, she was running a 5K and it was like just like the
Really?
interview like made me cry. It was so inspiring. It's just the most inspiring story ever. It's absolutely crazy.
What's
So
what's her name?
Sarah Erica.
Sarah Erica. Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll be sure to check that out.
Yeah, that one's really cool too. Well, your story is just so awesome. I've loved hearing it. And I think you did say like you've loved how your clothes were fitting better
Oh,
and stuff like
yes.
that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I mean, what else would you say are like all the positives in which this has changed your life, including that?
I would say like the main thing apart from that, because the only reason why I love the clothing thing so much is, well, first of all, it is, although like it's getting better, it is still kind of harder for bigger sized people to still get clothes, or they're not as fashionable as like the smaller side of it, right? But I'm also into fashion. Like I love clothing. I do have like a brand that's going to be coming out that's rebranding now, but I do love clothing. But apart from that, I think the best thing that I can say is the feeling, just the feeling. I never used to want to go outside. I never used to want to like be in nature. I never used to feel this way. And that's the one thing that I can say. There's so many other things, but just like the feeling of like feeling good in the world, and like, yeah, there's really like nothing like it. There's so many other benefits. Like you start looking good, your skin glows more, the aches and the pains, not feeling pain all the time, being able to get up early. Like there are a lot of things that we take for granted. And it's like being able to even just do the normal things, like bend down and pick up a piece of paper and not have aches and pains. Like they're just little things that people have gotten used to, because over time you get used to like, okay, like this hurts. Okay, I can't bend down like this. Tie my shoes. I was having trouble trying to tie my shoes because my
Wow.
belly, and I was
Wow.
just like just bending down. I had to sit down to tie my shoes now. I can just like bend down and do, it's like the simplest things that you used to be able to do when you were younger or when you were a kid. It goes like, people feel as if it goes out the window, but it's like when you start getting into juicing, you start feeling better by yourself and you start like maybe dropping a little bit of weight and being healthier, those things come back.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I love that feeling. I've started to love that feeling more so than I love the types of food that I was eating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well said. You really have a way with words. And if somebody was to start a juice fast, what do you think are some of the things they can expect? Like some of the benefits and what should they expect?
I think what you should expect, go into it day by day. When I was doing mine, I had like a calendar that I used to mark out each day. I was tracking it as well, right? I was seeing how my clothes were starting to fit me, right? I would also say it's important to try to document it, because although sometimes the scale might say a certain thing, the way that your clothes fit is different, right? You start seeing different types of changes. I do think that you don't really have anything to lose. Like there's just benefits. I don't. There's nothing. it's like if you're at a point to where you have to juice fast or you want to juice fast, you're probably searching for something or you're looking for something. There's nothing but like benefits to it. You're not gonna lose anything. It's not gonna cause you any problems. You're gonna just gain from it. So just try
Mhm.
it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have a great YouTube channel as well, I just want to say. And you did a great video on
Oh,
your juice fast. So I'll link that all down
yeah.
below and I'll link all your socials and everything.
Oh, awesome.
And
Thank you so much.
yeah, absolutely. It's been such a pleasure. You're such good vibes. I've loved talking to you, truly. If there's anything you want to end off with, like any advice for anybody who might be struggling, with their weight or with their mentality or stuck in a place they're not happy with in life and they want to take those steps and get to a more positive place like you, if you have any tips or advice to end off with or anything at all you feel called to say or anything we maybe missed, then absolutely do so.
Yeah, I would just keep it simple. Choose you, love yourself, and just start today. If you don't have anything to lose, then what else do you have to lose? Like, start today. Just take a chance. Stop listening to everybody else and what's out there. There's so much information out there about doing this, doing that, doing this, doing that. If you've done the other things, take a chance. Just try this. See how you feel. You just might like it.
Yeah, awesome. Great. Well said. All right. Well, thanks so much, Anthony. And to the viewers, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I sure did. And if you did, give it a big thumbs up right now. Make sure to subscribe if you don't already. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Bye.